Hello, TCI family, Jonathan's Refuge, and all of our faithful followers and friends from around the world. It's your bishop coming to you. I'm going to jump right into the scriptures in the book of Genesis in the Bible, verse 25, or chapter 25, verse 29 through 34. It says, once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came in from the field. Jacob and Esau were brothers, by the way. And he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted. Therefore his name was called Edom. Jacob said, sell me your birthright now. Esau said, I'm about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me? Jacob said, swear to me now. So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of soup. I could read on and explain what he lost, but it was a fortune. It was stature, power, the head of the family, everything. He threw away a lot. The moral of the story in today's message, because of my health, is going to be short. So I ask for your patience as I struggle. For those who don't know, I was on a regimen of medications and injections with heart meds to try to fix a heart valve issue. Long story short, it failed. And then I tried to get him to turn it back on so I could go another round, but then insurance said you're dead in 60 days. So please don't call and say, oh my God, you're dead in 60. That's what doctors say. I've already lived past the 60, so I'm already ahead of schedule. I just started today all over again, the same treatment program. And it's emotionally draining because I know what's coming and the pain and the everything. And I felt like I was out in the yard and I was watching my men work, and I asked God, could you do me a favor? Take me home. I would gladly give everything up. And then instantly this message popped right on my head, like, dude, don't sell your birthright. And I was like, whoa. So he was starving. He wouldn't have died. He might have been close to death, but he just was selfish for himself. How many of you out there, how many guys and gals that I know that you threw away a marriage to have sex with one person, or you threw away a job because you just wanted to take an extra 100 that you needed and they didn't because they were richer than you? Or I can go on and on with examples. You drank at a bar to hide the pain. There's all kinds of things you can do, but there are repercussions, and people sell themselves and throw away their whole future for what? One night at the bar to get drunk, one night out for a flooze, one night out for partying, one night out for whatever it is, stealing money from a company, whatever you had done. And then you lose everything. I see it all the time in my organization. I have men who get out of prison and we tell them, stay away from the ladies. Don't worry about dating for the first, I know it sounds bad, but if you're on parole for 3 years, you get good time served. You might be off of parole in only 2 years. Why are you trying to get into a relationship? Well, I need sex. Well, you didn't have it in prison, so why do you need it now? And that's what the scripture tells you. So look up the story and read it, because it literally is telling you that you're going to sell your birthright. And I'm moving, forgive me, because I can tell the computer's lagging and the internet's not working so good in my office. So forgive me if you guys are watching. The lag works better if I'm upstairs in the residence. So I'll just come up here and see what we can do. I'm going to end it with simply saying this. I want you to think of this simply as, if you're in a situation where you're going to do something that you think sounds fun and exciting, or like this guy who was starving and it'll satisfy my need. No, say, brother, no. How can I pay for this? I'll buy it from you and I'll pay you with interest, but I'm not giving up my birthright. He was thinking short term. He was thinking not in the long term of things. I've done that, folks, and so have you. Let's take this simple story and let's learn from it. Don't sell your birthright. I've had two great guys that I wanted to be a major person in my company to help me run the programs that our organization has. One threw it away for instant gratification.
I said, you're looking at a company that you're going to get a job making maybe $8,000 more a year than working for us, but it's wishy washy. And he was the wishy washiness. Only a few months later, the company was closed. And now he wants a job with us. And I said, no, you lost that. You sold your birthright. The other guy started and he wanted to have a physical relationship. And it was with someone that was inappropriate, not a minor or anything. It was another person in the organization, and it was not right. And you shouldn't do that. And he broke the rules again for what? Even he said at the end, it was just for, he can't believe it, self gratification. And I was like, but see, people do this all the time. They sell their birthright. You're a child of God, and you deserve more than that. You have a future. It might take a time to get you there. It might be hard. I'm now 50. Just because I had money in all the businesses I've run doesn't mean I lived a wealthy life. I still struggled. I blew most of my money, folks. I put it on Mercedes, and Ferrari has it, and houses have them, and then I was always broke, making a ton of money. And now money means nothing to me, and I wouldn't sell anything for my birthright because the kingdom has been handed to me for me, because I wouldn't sell my birthright. This company, when I founded it, my nonprofit that handles the mental health and the prison reentry program called Jonathan's Refuge, I was offered, my last offer was almost $10 million. This was the last one. They added a couple million on top of that, but that's through what they refer to as payouts later. So they'll pay you one fee here, and then you get some payouts later. Here's my point to you: I started the company with $20, $10 million. That's a walk away money, and just go enjoy your next whatever time you have left. And with my health, and the doctors telling me what they're telling me, I probably should have taken it, but I won't sell my birthright because we are building $1 trillion mental health prison reform company. And I am so proud of what we've accomplished. My partners, Heather, Brian, Tyler, the staff, Shelly, uh, my one of the guys that's he's temporarily a part-time assistant to me, and part head of the property up at the headquarters. Darren, he is, we refer to him as Junior. He's my nephew. All these people are the partners that I work with. My house managers, Paul, Big Mike, Brad, Cameron, Robin, assistant house managers like Brad and Robin, Ty, and all the men. They're all my partners. We partner. I partner with them, they partner with me, and we work to change the world. And I've seen people sell their birthright. Guys that get out of prison, they're like, "Yeah, man, but I know I'm dating this girl, and I'm like, well, I'll give you a live example. A guy this week, he's married with kids, and then he's sitting there telling a story to a friend of his in front of me about how this other girl's trying to get with him from another state, and they're sending each other, naked pictures. This guy's not in my program. He's not on parole. This is people that aren't involved in anything. Okay, this is just simply, I was at a restaurant with a friend and I heard a conversation. Now, here's what I'm trying to say. The guy is like, man, she's like 10 times harder than my wife. And he's like, what do you think? And I didn't see the picture of her. I said, oh, I don't need to see the picture. And he goes, why not? And I said, because it doesn't matter. Do you want to have your wife? He's like, hell yeah. I was like, okay. You have kids? Yep. And you want that? Yeah. But I mean, come on, man. This is a hot piece. You just get a little bit. And I said, that's true. You can. But what you're doing is a couple things. Number one, you're breaking your word to your wife. And if you're going to do that to her, you're going to do it to me and any other employer you work for. So that's, as an employer, how I look at it. But at the same time, what happens when you get caught? Because eventually you're going to get caught. Everyone does. So you're going to get caught. And if you don't get caught, you're going to know about it in your head, and it's going to eat you alive. But here's the point. Is it worth throwing everything away, selling your birthright for a weekend frolic? No, it's not. And so you can lose your jobs, your marriages, your life by selling your birthright. Think about that for a minute. I know it's only a 9-10 minute message, but I think I don't need to elaborate any more on this. For the men at the Men's Homes of Hope, Jonathan's Refuge, Mr. Tyler, I would like you tonight at the churches in Marysville and tomorrow night at the church in Marysville to have an open discussion. So I'm going to cut this short. And then I want you to sit there and say, gentlemen, let's have some examples amongst the men here. Have any of us ever sold our birthright? and give a couple examples and see what we come up with. Have an open house discussion with the men. And all of those faithful followers and friends from Africa, Ghana, there's a place in Ghana that watches once a week. It's only one viewing, but there's approximately now close to 50 people watching it. So all of you, I ask the same. Tonight, let's take and discuss this concept. For those that watch it by yourself, talk to your partners, your wives, your husbands, your friends, your children, your mentors. Call me. Say, hey, Bishop, I got a question. This is something that if we learn to not sell our birthright, and it seems, oh, I'd never sell my birthright, but people do it all the time, all the time. My parents sold my grandmother's home when they shouldn't have. They only got 120 for it. It sold when they were going to sell it. It sold at the same time for almost 800,000. And they did it so they could go on a vacation. They regret it for the rest of their life. What have you done to sell your birthright? I love you guys. Stay positive, live positive, and remember, your bishop loves you very much. And end stream.